well, it might be Easter this weekend, but it's more like Christmas or birthdays for Jays fans with the regular season opener taking place this afternoon against Tampa Bay. The Jays, of course, hoping to improve on their 89-73 record last season, third place finish in the AL East. And then, of course, that dismal exit in the not the playoffs, but the wild card. Postseason, we'll call it. Yeah, okay. So Adam Paddle, Nick Paleog, co-founders of the Blue Jays Today podcast, friends of the show, I think we can now officially say, joining us this morning to talk about opening day. First of all, I'll start with you, Nick. Just how pumped are you on opening day today, this year?
Yeah, man. We've been on here a few times in the offseason, and as you know, it has been one hell of a ride. It's been a roller coaster. But all that goes out the window on opening day, right? All of your criticisms and thoughts that you have about this team, this offense, this pitching staff, that just leaves you. And now it's, I want to watch these guys play ball and see what they have. And if we are going to take anything away from spring training, and I know that everybody's like, spring training stats don't matter, and typically they don't. But if we're going to take anything away, that offense looks sneaky good.
Okay, I like the sound of that. Adam, what are you sort of looking for? What needs to happen for the Jays this season? 89 wins last season, but then that dismal wild card.
Yeah, first of all, last year, you look at what went right for the Blue Jays, and it was that pitching staff. I think they need somewhat of a repeat performance. Maybe if there's a little bit of regression, we can't expect that, but they need that pitching staff to be good to get them to the postseason. But most importantly, we need to have that offense bounce back. It's got to be a lot better. Runners in scoring position, we knew that was kind of the Achilles heel of the Blue Jays last year. They got to be able to string hits together and drive in those runners on second and third base. If they can do that, paired with the good pitching, you could see this team, eclipse that 90-win mark easily this season.
It was interesting. Last year, the Jays kind of went into the regular season with sort of World Series, being bandied about by a lot of the experts and analysts. And we saw what happened. I think so much, Nick, correct me if I'm wrong, of the Jays offense is really surrounded by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. For the last 6 years, there's been so much hopes on him. I don't know if it's been completely fulfilled. How crucial is this season for Vladdy?
Oh, it's massive. And it's not just massive for the Toronto Blue Jays, but it's also massive for him. He's got 2 years left on his contract right now, and I think that we're at that place where we got to decide. We have to figure out, is this the guy? Is this our guy that we are going to be rolling with for a decade more? Do we want to give him the bag? Or is it going to be somebody else? And if this offense wants to go, it will be through him. We actually had Joe Siddle on our podcast the other day, and he was saying, it's Guerrero, right? When he goes, this team goes. And I like where he's at right now. In spring, he was extremely hot. But will he be able to catch the fastball in regular season? We gotta wait and see.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You alluded to pitching as well, Adam. Let's talk about the Jays' rotation this year. Berrios looks like he's getting the start today. He needs a bounce back this season as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty good last year, but I think he has higher expectations for himself. Because you look at that game 2 in the wild card, and they pulled him for Yusei Kikuchi to face the lefties. So I think Berrios took that as a sign that, hey, I got to be better not only against the righties, but I got to be better against the lefties this year. He's added a cutter to his mix, so that's to kind of front hip the left-handed hitters. So hopefully that can kind of be a little bit of a wrinkle in the arsenal for Jose Berrios. And if he could do that, I think he's going to hit that next level, and I think the Blue Jays are going to need it, especially out of the gate, but especially because they're dealing with a little bit of injuries that they didn't have last year in that rotation. So having him be that solid guy is going to be crucial.
And pick up on that, Nick. I wanted to get to the injuries because they're already starting. Like Jordan Romano, the local boy reliever, he's starting, I believe, on the IL, not the DL. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the IL. It's terrible. I have him on my fantasy team. It's just the worst. But seriously, like this bullpen for the Jays, it's in a rough spot because he's not the only one. You also got Eric Swanson, who's on the IL as well, and he's the setup man for Jordan Romano. So that is 2 of your best guys in the bullpen who are not there right now. So other guys are going to need to take a step up, and I think you're also going to need to see this offense go out and bang. We cannot be within 1 or 2 runs. I want to have a 3 or 4 or 5 run cushion. Like this offense needs to carry a little bit. It was all the pitching staff last year. Let's see what these guys can do with the bat.
Any other new Jays, we're talking the Blue Jays, Adam, but new Jays that fans should get accustomed to seeing not only in the lineup, but maybe, up in the batting standings, hitting standings, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, Justin Turner is the obvious guy. He's going to be the locked-in 4-hitter, playing DH primarily, maybe a little bit of third and first base to get some people off their feet in that DH spot. Justin Turner is going to be your guy to drive in runs this year. Again, like I mentioned earlier in this interview, we needed to drive in runs. Runner in scoring position was the problem. You have him in the 4th spot for a reason. He's a veteran, 39-year-old guy. He's been here, done that, and it looks like he's like 28 out there, the way he's swinging the bat, turning on fastballs.
He was from Boston, right?
He was in Boston.
From Boston for that 1 year contract.
Even before that, he was with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
The Dodgers, as we know, are a juggernaut. So he's kind of taken a lot of that experience, brought it over here. You got to be looking out for this guy to be driving in runs in big spots.
Also, let's not forget the wagon that is Danny Burgers. Okay, Danny Burgers off the bench, first base. This guy, he bangs.
All right, we'll look forward to this. Listen, day one is here. Game one's here. Blue Jays today. Adam, Nick, thanks so much for being here. I'm sure we'll talk to you throughout the season. Enjoy today, though.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.